Today we are talking about jury duty. A lot of you are really young, so you've probably never had to go to jury duty yet, but you will eventually, most likely. And if you have a driver's license, or if you are registered to vote, that means in most jurisdictions, you are on the list to be drawn for jury duty. What happens if you ignore a jury duty summons? If you fail to appear for jury duty, you can be charged with contempt of court and face up to 6 months in jail. As usual, the specifics here vary widely by state and jurisdiction. Always remember, everything we cover can be slightly different or very different depending on where you are. Local law, state law. It always just depends on jurisdiction. So, yeah, keep that in mind. So, there are 2 types of juries, and we're going to be reenacting both of them today. The first, that is probably the least known amongst pop culture, is the grand jury. These can consist of anywhere between 16 to 23 people, just depending on a lot of things. Remember, nothing is concrete here. And these are selected to hear multiple cases. So if you get picked for a grand jury, you're going to be there for quite a while going over multiple cases. You might get a lunch break in the middle, and that's how that works. The second type is the petit jury. It's spelled petit, pronounced petty. There might be a debate about how it's pronounced somewhere, but I've always heard it pronounced petty, so we're going to go with that. These normally consist of 12 people. Sometimes can be as little as 6, maybe 9. Usually not more than 12. And when you're selected for a petit jury, you're only selected to serve for 1 trial. So you're not going to be going over multiple cases, it's all just 1 trial, which depending on the trial can last 1 day to a year. We have selected our grand jury, and your rules are going to be to listen to all evidence against the accused, and you are going to make a decision and vote to either indict or acquit the accused. If you indict them, this means to bring charges which will go before the judge and a petit jury. So we're not quite to the petit jury phase yet. The grand jury comes first. Or you can vote to acquit, which means no charges will be brought and the accused is free to go. Right now, we have already selected our grand jury. We've got 6 people here. Kind of going through a pandemic right now. We can't have too many students in the same class, so this isn't going to be as realistic as it usually is in semesters past. We got 6 people to work with, all spread out about 6 feet. So what you're going to do, my grand jury, is you are going to listen to all evidence against the accused, who we have here today. You're going to make a decision and vote to either indict or acquit the accused. To indict means you are going to bring charges, and if she is indicted, she will then go before a petit jury. We're not quite to the petit jury phase yet. We'll get there. You're choosing right now whether they're going to go to the petit jury in trial or not. Or you could vote to acquit, which means effectively they are not guilty. Also, with a grand jury, you do not need a unanimous decision. All you need is, let's say we got 6 people, we just need 4 people to side with one opinion, and that's what goes. All you gotta have is a majority. Okay, so, little bit, who is our accused person that we are bringing before our grand jury today, is accused of robbing a bank after she set it on fire. So, the evidence evidence that we have to prove that she actually did this. Evidence against Littlebit. She was found to be in possession of large quantities of burned money. There's quite a bit of surveillance footage of her committing this crime, and she also live streamed the robbery from her own Facebook, later posting photos of the burned cash and herself with various incriminating hashtags. So yeah, that's what we got. So, everyone vote, deliberate, discuss. You are the grand jury. A simple majority of you need to make a decision. Are we going to acquit Littlebit, or are we going to indict Littlebit?
All the evidence points to her.
Who's got her?
She is guilty, I feel. She is guilty. She is very, very guilty.
Send her to the chair.
Send her to the chair.
Yeah.
No!
So do we have, everybody raise your hand if you think she should be indicted. All right, we actually got a unanimous grand jury decision. Look how mad she looked.
Oh, wow.
All right. Looks like we have a unanimous grand jury decision. Littlebit, you have been indicted. You will now move on to a jury trial. Now we're on to the petty jury. As I said, normal semesters, we would have all of you go back to your seats and we would choose different students. Don't really have that luxury anymore, so the same 6 people will now be our petty jury, which is going to save us time later because you've already seen all the evidence. In reality, this would be 2 totally different groups of people. It'll all make sense in the long run. Weird times we're in. So, a petty jury is the jury that you often see in movies and on TV, and this is the jury that sits in on the trial and hears all of the evidence and testimonies of the case. However, before a petty jury can be sent to trial, they must be vetted via a process known as Voir Dire. Once again, we got a word there that I'm pretty sure there might be some debate somewhere as to how you pronounce it, but we're going with a Voir Dire right now. This is where it is determined if any of the jurors may have conflicts of interest or other issues with themselves and how they relate to the case or the accused person that might make it impossible for them to make a fair decision. Examples would be if you're related to the accused, if the accused was your bully in high school. Tons of reasons where voir dire would remove someone from a jury. My jury, we got 6 people here. Let's do voir dire on you. So are there any of you in here who would, is anybody here that's like just a really big cat person?
No.
One person?
I am.
You said a really big cat person?
Like, yeah, like really loves cats.
Yes.
Yes.
Few people? Okay, well, is there anybody here that just hates cats? Who would just like purposely run them over if they could?
No.
So nobody hates cats. We've got a few people that are kind of partial to cats. Does anybody have family that works in a bank? 2 people. Okay. Did either of you have a family member that worked at the bank that she burned down?
You never classified what bank it was. You just said a bank.
A bank?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there's like a lot of banks.
Just pick one at random.
Yeah, just pick one that's local here in Bowling Green.
BB&T. I'm gonna keep naming banks, and the first one that,
Sticks.
okay. Farmers National. South Central.
I'm out.
You're out? All right. You have a family member. Which family member?
My mom.
All right, your mom got mildly burned on the hand
Ooh.
because of Littlebit. So you have probably a personal vendetta against Littlebit.
Oh, she said no.
Yeah. So you're out of the jury. So just kind of go sit over here
Okay.
somewhere. So Voir Dire has removed you from the jury. Now that we have our new Petit Jury, with any conflicts of interest removed, we're down to 5 people now from 6. Now, you already know the evidence against the accused. Here it is again if you forgot. So deliberate and come to a verdict. Since you are a Petit Jury, not a grand jury, you do need to come to a unanimous verdict. There can be no simple majorities here. So, having seen all this, deliberate. As we discussed before, here are all the charges. In reality, the people in the grand jury and the Petit Jury would not be the same people, but we're kind of doing a pandemic right now. We're limited on the amount of students we can use for this example. So you're the same people, you've already heard all the evidence, you know everything involved. So now deliberate. After seeing all the evidence, knowing everything, can you come to a unanimous decision on whether or not Little Bit is guilty or innocent?
How many other people were harmed in the crime? Like how many people were present in the bank? 'Cause
Let's say 3.
Okay.
One person was mildly burned. They could all get out pretty easy. Nobody was seriously hurt.
I think guilty.
I think guilty, especially since she live streamed it on Facebook.
And used hashtags.
Yeah. And it was from her Facebook account, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Little Bit. Nope, sorry, ma'am.
All right. Little Bit, you have been found guilty, and you will now be sent over to the jail. See you later.